Do you know how many words there are in the English language? I didn't. And so I Googled it and found this article on the Merriam-Webster website. They're the dictionary people, so I figured they should know. As I started skimming the article, ironically, I came across a few words that I didn't know. A lot of it I understood, but there were a few words that I didn't know, and it was kind of bothering me, keeping me from understanding the whole article. I got down here and it says, it has been estimated that the vocabulary of English includes roughly 1 million words. Okay, I get that. Although most linguists would take that estimate with a chunk of salt. I'm pretty sure chunk of salt here is some kind of figurative language, and I'm not even going to worry about that right now, but linguists? Not absolutely sure what a linguist is, but I'm getting the idea that they're probably people who study words somehow, since they're the ones talking about how many words there are in the English language. And then I got down here. Many of these are so peripheral to common English use that they do not or are not likely to appear even in an unabridged dictionary. So 2 words right here that I'm not 100% sure of what they mean in this context. I mean, if somebody said, I saw that out of my peripheral vision, I would understand what that means. Your peripheral vision is the vision out of the corner of your eye. But I don't know what it means here. Many of these words are so peripheral to common English. So I find myself having to figure out what these words mean in this context. And that's what this unit is all about. Figuring out what words mean. You might find this surprising, or maybe you won't. There are no people who know all the words. There are so many of them. By the way, the article says in one dictionary, the unabridged Oxford English Dictionary, there are 470,000 entries. So I'm guessing there are 470,000 official words that we recognize as official English words, but up here it says it could be roughly 1 million. That's a lot of words. That is a lot of words. Nobody knows all those words. So I don't feel too bad that there are some words that I don't know when I read an article, but the thing is, I can't let that stop me from understanding things. I have to be able to understand what I'm looking at, because it's probably important to me or I wouldn't be looking at it at all. Maybe I have to take a test on it. Maybe it impacts my life. So what that says to me is that understanding what words mean or figuring out what words mean in context, when we can't access a dictionary, because sometimes we can't. Sometimes we're not on the computer. We all know that it's pretty easy to find a word meaning if you're sitting at a computer, but what if you're not? What if you're talking to somebody and they say a word you don't know? What if you're taking your driver's test and there's a word you don't know on the driver's test? I was looking at the driver's manual today, and I was wondering, are there words I don't know in the driver's manual? And I found this. Suggested procedures for motorists when stopped by law enforcement officers. On a highway with 2 or more lanes of traffic, I'm right here in this second bullet point. On a highway with 2 or more lanes of traffic in the same direction, a driver should pull his vehicle into the most feasible shoulder of the highway in a safe manner. And this is the driver's manual, the thing you have to study to take your driver's test. So if you don't know what feasible means and you go to take that test, you might not know when or how you're supposed to stop your car if you're pulled over by a law enforcement officer. Even more important, if you don't know what the word feasible means, because that's where it says to pull your car, you should pull your vehicle into the most feasible shoulder of the highway. So if you don't know what that means, and after you get your driver's license, a police car pulls up behind you, how do you know where to stop? What that says is that understanding words, figuring out words when you don't have the meaning memorized, it's a pretty important life skill.